As we transition to the technical sessions, I'm thrilled to provide you with an overview of the insightful topics we will be covering today. We will delve into the vast opportunities for value addition and processing of groundnuts, explore the export potential of groundnut-based products, discuss quality considerations in handling groundnut products, and examine the latest packaging innovations in oilseed-based products. Stay with us as we navigate through these essential aspects that are shaping the future of the groundnut industry. I'm now pleased to introduce our first speaker. We are privileged to have Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Tyagi with us today. With a commendable tenure of 25 years in the field, Dr. Tyagi is a principal scientist at ICAR CIPHET in Ludhiana. He coordinates a national research project spanning 31 centers, guiding a formidable team of 350 scientists. His academic prowess is underpinned by a DSc, PhD, and advanced degrees in chemical engineering. Dr. Tyagi's leadership and expertise have been recognized through prestigious awards such as the Outstanding Scientist Award in 2015. His scholarly contributions include 40 publications reflecting a significant impact on the scientific community as evidenced by his iNDEXT and iNDEXT. Internationally trained and empaneled with the FAO, Dr. Tyagi's global perspective and dedication to innovation make him an influential voice and a visionary in agriculture science. Dr. Tyagi will enlighten us on the topic, opportunities for value addition and processing of groundnut. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good morning, everybody. And I would like to start the topic which has given to me, that is opportunities in groundnut processing. And I would like to explore the areas in which the people can start their ventures. And there is a lot of potential of value addition as well as the employment opportunities are there. So I'm starting with my presentation and sharing my slides. Let me know whether it is there or not. Please let me know. Or my sound is audible to everybody. Please let me confirm first.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Friends, I am taking the lecture on this, that is opportunities in groundnut processing and exploring profitable ventures in the peanut industry. As all of you know, that groundnut is also known as a Archis hypogaea, and it is having many names like peanut, monkey nut, earth nut, manila nut, mungfali, and it is a vital source of oil, protein, and energy-rich food. Groundnuts are grown in tropical and subtropical regions worldwide and serve as a key agricultural and economic commodity. People generally use the groundnut as such, but there are so many new things which has been derived from this in terms of value addition and product diversification. Groundnut outlook is, as it has been already stated, but in a nutshell, I will like to say that in India, in terms of area, the groundnut is at number one, and second one is the soybean. But in terms of production, groundnut comes second position. China has a first rank with a production of 18.36 million ton, that is 34% of the world. India is having 10.24 metric ton, that is 19%. Nigeria 4.61 metric ton, and United States of America just 2.90 metric ton. Sudan 2.36 million ton, and the total world production was 53.97 metric ton in 2021. In 23-24, Government of India estimated around 7.92 metric ton as compared to 8.5 metric ton in 2022-23. Gujarat is having the leader in this with the production of 3.67 metric ton, followed by Rajasthan, then Madhya Pradesh, then Tamil Nadu, then Karnataka and Telangana. It is very important to understand what is the reason that the farmer would be attracted to produce the groundnut. It only depends what they are getting from this after selling this crop. In Punjab, the people are only going towards this wheat, or they are going for paddy. because the output is much more for paddy and wheat. As well as in UP, the farmers grow generally sugarcane. In these two states, people don't go for this groundnut due to low return because the cost of this crop is not so high and the benefit of the farmers is not up to the mark in these states. So requirement of the hour is to develop some value addition and some important crop diversification so that the benefit of the farmer will be at the first stage. In this, the protein of this groundnut is around 24.35 and lipid, that is fat, that is oil, around 49.66 and carbohydrate is around 21.26. Dietary fiber is 8.40. Sugar is 4.90. Energy kilocalorie is 587. So you can see the protein content is around 24.35%. So it is a very good source for protein supplement for different type of food products of the human as well as for the animals. And the fat is 49.66%. In India, there is a scarcity of the edible oils and the oil is being imported from other countries to meet the Indian requirement. So groundnut plays a vital role to compensate this import. In Punjab, the people are consuming the mustard oil, but in Gujarat, the first preference is groundnut. There are so many advantage and disadvantage of different type of oils, which I will take care of. Here, this is the groundnut oil. Groundnut oil has a good advantage of certain things and bad advantage and bad things also. It supports heart health. It is high in antioxidants. It boosts immunity and aids weight management. It reduces inflammation and support brain health. It is good for skin and hair. It helps in diabetes and digestion. Actually, the saturated fatty acid in the groundnut oil is 20% and total unsaturated fatty acids are 80%. Out of 80%, 42% is monounsaturated fatty acid and 37% is polyunsaturated fatty acid. The thumb rule is if the oil is having more monounsaturated fatty acid, it is assumed to be the best. But if it is having more polyunsaturated fatty acid, then it provides the oxidative stress for the person. So what happens, whatever the antioxidants in our body that are utilized to oxidize the polyunsaturated fatty acids so that aging comes. So the thumb rule is that saturated fatty acid should be as low as possible and monounsaturated fatty acid should be as high as possible and polyunsaturated fatty acid should be minimum. In groundnut, almost balanced. Monounsaturated fatty acid is 42% and polyunsaturated fatty acid is 37%. So it is a both advantage and disadvantage at this point. The groundnut kernel are good source of all vitamins, vitamin B especially, but it doesn't have vitamin B12 and vitamin E, that is tocopherol. Because you have seen at so many places that many peanut-based food products are there. That is peanut butter, roasted and flavored peanuts, peanut flour, peanut candy and snacks, and peanut milk and beverages, chikki and laddu. Because if a person needs a gluten-free or it is allergen to gluten, then peanut flour is a good substitute. Simultaneously, if a person is having some allergy with milk products, then the milk that is derived or produced with the help of peanut is a good substitute. In many ways, in many Indian foods, the peanut powder or defatted peanut powder is added to make a supplement of protein and it is well accepted by the people in the society. First, I will talk about groundnut milk. It reduces diabetes, manage weight and heart and bone due to antioxidants because it is having arginine. It is a good thing for that. And it also have vitamin D. It is a good source of fiber for healthy gut and prevent constipation. So it is the advantage of this. What is the method to develop this milk? It is a very simple. First, we select and clean the groundnut. Then we soak it for 6 to 8 hours in water. Then we drain and rinse it. And after grinding with water, it is filtrated and milk comes out. But to to make its shelf life, we do the pasteurization, then cooling, and then we add some flavoring and sweetening agent, and then we package in bottles and all. So it is a groundnut milk, and it is a good substitute of milk products. Another is groundnut paneer. It is prepared by combining groundnut powder with milk and some coagulant like lemon juice or vinegar. It is a plant-based source of protein having various vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds. It has low in carbs and with very low glycemic index. So it is a very good substitute for the diabetic person. So these all technologies are available at Central Institute of Post-Harvest Engineering and Technology CIPHET here in Ludhiana. And suppose a person want to start a small business with the help of groundnut, he can make some value-added products. In Ludhiana, we have trained so many entrepreneurs, around 1,000 or so. Frequently, the people come in batches, and we are having some infrastructure. We train them to start these type of products, and a person can start this business with a very small input of money, and the technology is available, and market people are aware of these type of products. Suppose you are having some marketing strategy and having a skill to do work, you can go ahead with that. Another is groundnut curd. It is a traditional dish made by fermenting a blend of groundnuts and other ingredients, often in similar way to dairy curd. It is especially popular in certain regional cuisines, providing a rich, creamy alternative for those who may be lactose intolerant or prefer plant-based foods. It is a good substitute. It provides a dairy-free, nutritious alternative. It is high in protein and healthy fats. It is great for lactose intolerant individuals. This is also an important thing. And the technology is very much available. If a person wants to start this type of business, he can easily start. Another one is groundnut butter. It is very much available in the market. Groundnut butter, also known as peanut butter, it is a spread made from roasted groundnuts. It is popular worldwide and used in various dishes, from sandwiches to smoothies and sauces. Its health benefits are it is rich in protein, supporting muscle growth. It contains healthy fats, good for heart health. It is packed with vitamins and minerals such as vitamin E, magnesium, and potassium. Because in groundnut, vitamin E deficiency is there, so it can be supplemented from externally. So fortified groundnut butter is there, and it is good for weight management, and it keeps you full longer. Groundnut cheese, a plant-based cheese alternative made primarily from groundnuts. It is a popular choice for vegan and dairy-free diets due to its rich nutty flavor and creamy texture. The process of making groundnut cheese typically involves blending peanuts with butter, seasonings, and sometimes thickening agents, or a bit of lemon juice or vinegar for tanginess. Some recipes may use nutritional yeast to add a cheesy flavor. It can be molded into a solid form and sliced or spread, making it a versatile option for sandwiches, crackers, and salads. It is also a very attractive product with the help of groundnut. Groundnut cakes, as you know, after extraction of the oil by mechanical extraction, the residual cake is having around 5 to 8% oil. And if we go through solvent extraction, this oil can also be extracted out. But if we use as such the cake having 5 to 6% of cake, it is valuable organic manures and feeding material for livestock. The groundnut haulms contains 8 to 15% crude protein, that is 1 to 3% lipids and 9 to 10% minerals, and are used in cattle feeds either in fresh or in dried stage or for preparing hay or silage. Hay means the drying material for the uh, this animals, and silage means a fermented product. We can make it with the help of this groundnut cakes. And now I would like to introduce this hydrolyzed plant protein, that is a very important product with the help of de-oiled groundnut de-oiled cake. This is produced by breaking down plant proteins into smaller peptides and amino acids through hydrolysis to make easy for absorption by the body. You know Maggi masala? In Maggi masala, the 70% part is this HPP, and it is made with the help of de-oiled groundnut cake. The reason is Nestle started this work in from 1954. They first tried mustard, but in mustard, due to some bitter taste, they dropped it. They again started the work with the help of sunflower oil, but due to the aesthetic appeal, because it is a black color, so they dropped it. They also tried on soya, but due to tangy taste, they dropped it. But the most acceptable powder, hydrolyzed plant protein, comes from the groundnut. And with addition of 30% of other things, a magic masala of Nestle people is in the market. So if we extract this hydrolyzed plant protein with the help of de-oiled groundnut cake, it is a very good substitute because it is a proteinous source. It can add, it can be used as a thickening agent. Right now, the people are using corn starch, but it is having a starch, so its glycemic index is much more, and it is not as good as if we add the hydrolyzed plant protein for thickening purpose in sauces and many other products. That is for health point of view. It is having 70% protein content. It is suitable for beverages, energy bars, meat alternatives, animal feed, pet food, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and dietary supplements. So it can be used as a thickening agent in many products which we can think. Groundnut sauce, it is also a very amazing product with the help of groundnut. You have seen in the market the soya sauce is there, but in the market people very, I think they are very difficult to see the groundnut sauce. Groundnut sauce, also known as peanut sauce, is a popular dish in many African, Asian, and Southeast Asian cuisines. It is made from groundnuts and is often used as a dip, topping, or accompaniment to various dishes like rice, vegetables, grilled meats, or fried foods. The sauce has a rich, creamy, and savory flavor with a slight sweetness, and it can be adjusted to different tastes depending on the region or recipe. So, one of my center was in Gujarat at Junagadh. I was a project coordinator of All India Coordinated Research Project on Post-Harvest Changing and Technology. I gave this project to these Junagadh people, and they developed this technology to make groundnut sauce. And this sauce is very tasty and very attractive. So, if a farmer or an entrepreneur want to start the work in that area or to want to make a business of this, they can take the technology from Junagadh Agriculture University, or they can contact Central Institute of Post Harvest Engineering and Technology, Ludhiana, to get the license of manufacturing this. It is made with the help of fermentation process, and in this, the raw ingredients are defatted peanut cake and roasted wheat that has to be added with a koji mass that is used for denature the protein in a suitable controlled conditions and with so many process, but it need around 3 to 4 month time to get it proper fermentation. But there are some chemical methods also, but in chemical methods the taste is not at par, or it is not as good as the fermentation process made this sauce. So a combination of chemical process and fermentation process is to be uh, acted. It is advised for getting the quick formation of peanut sauce with good quality. So this technology is also available at our institute. Next, groundnut hulls. Every part of the groundnut is useful. Suppose we are talking about the groundnut hulls. This groundnut hulls is a good source of uh, energy in thermal power plant. It is used as such, and in the ash, it is having fiber, calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron, and as such in the groundnut hull, lignin are there, and it is having some antioxidants. It is having fiber also. In lignin, it can be used as a suitable ingredient for biodegradable plastics. When we are forming a biodegradable plastic, the lignin of groundnut hulls can be used in that. For making certain specific products, we can utilize the antioxidants present in the groundnut hull, and its fiber is a good food material as a supplement of animal feed for providing good gut conditions for the animals. It's if we burn it out, then inorganic residues are there that are calcium, potassium, magnesium, and iron. And with the help of these, it is a good substitute of biofertilizer in agriculture, and it can also be used as a biofuels. Here, I want to say, if we want to make the biodiesel with the help of the this groundnut oil, if we add methyl alcohol and we did esterification, then we can make the biodiesel also with the help of this. But because it is an edible oil, and in our country the scarcity of the edible oil is there, so it is not recommended to make the biodiesel with the help of the groundnut oil. We always prefer the formation of biodiesel with the oil which is not of edible nature, like Karanjan oil, like that. One of the most important other use of this ash, we can make the activated carbon. Activated carbon is a material which can be formed with the help of this groundnut as well as this coconut shell, with the help of walnut hull. When they are heated in absence of oxygen around 800 to 1000 degrees centigrade, then all volatile compounds evaporates and the surface area is increased and only pure carbon remains. And after activation of the site with the help of some acid boiling, we increase the pores so that this metal can be used as an adsorbent for different tertiary processing of agriculture products. In Gujarat, this type of action is done by bleaching earth, that is volcanic ash. Actually, this is calcium aluminum silicate that is found in the area near Bhuj, and this is also used during refining of the oils to remove the colors, as well as to remove the turbidity of the alcoholic material like beer. This activated carbon or this bleaching earth is used. So, with the help of this groundnut ash, we can also form the activated carbon. The quality of the activated carbon is decided on the basis of the surface area. So, if the surface area is good, it can be a good substitute for the costly activated carbon obtained from the this coconut hull. So, it is another area of it, use of it. One of the most thing that is many people discuss this aflatoxin issue of the groundnut. You can see it is a type of fungus growth that is of lightly green color, and lot of cry of this thing for the people. People avoid to consume it, with they're afraid. But in China, it has been revealed that liver cancer in groundnut producing or consuming provinces is not much. Besides this, Joint Expert Committee on Food Additives appointed by FAO and WHO reported that direct carcinogenic potential of aflatoxin in humans has been overestimated, and humans are less susceptible than rats and rabbits. Actually, effect of toxin depend on amount of toxin, frequency of intake, and resistance of the body. No clear evidence yet that aflatoxin are carcinogenic to humans. It has been reported, but it is a debatable issue. But the question is how to get rid from this aflatoxin. What are the suitable action which we have to adopt to avoid this? So groundnut storage problems are there. Actually, if the moisture content is more than 8%, then it can lead to molds and fungal growth, especially Aspergillus flavus, which produces aflatoxins, a serious health hazard. Pest infestation is there, like floor beetles, weevils, moth, and rodents damage storage groundnut. Rancidity and oil deterioration, because if oxidation take place and the groundnut is having around 50% oil content, so the oil become rancid, and when it is exposed to air, heat, and light, this reaction get faster. So, resulting a bad smell and taste, making the groundnuts unsuitable for consumption. And the sensitivity, temperature sensitivity also increases the oxidation and insect multiplication. Here, it is recommendable that we should put the groundnut below 25 degrees centigrade with proper ventilation. And if high humidity and would be there, then groundnuts may start sprouting, reducing their edibility and market value. So to get rid from this problem, we have to check the storage problems, and The post-harvest solutions are there, like we have to quick threshing and drying of plants with pod upside. Immediately threshing and drying should be done, keeping the pods upside with moisture content below 8% before storage. Before storage, this work has to be done. Proper packaging is required, means you have to make airtight containers or polyethylene lined gunny bags to reduce exposure to air and moisture. Cool and dry storage in well ventilated and dark place is required. Fumigation and pest control, regular inspection and use of safe insecticide or natural paste is required. And we should also avoid direct sunlight and the storage of the groundnut in shaded areas to prevent oil deterioration. So we have to make an integral approach for storage. We have to make some primary processing, and then we have to do some secondary processing, and especially to make very specified food products, the tertiary processing is required. So lot of products can be made with the help of this groundnut for the pod itself, from the this seed itself, and many things can be developed. So this is from my side, because the time was short and I was asked to speak for 15 minutes only. So I concluded the things in a nutshell. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your informative presentation. Your expertise in groundnut processing is truly inspiring. We will take some questions now. If anyone have any questions related to the topic discussed, please put in chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes. PPT बाद में discuss today. Yes, sir. I have given my PPT to the concerned organizer. If anybody need them, they can ask and collect them.
I have one submission, if organizer
Yeah.
permits. Dr. Tyagi, is there any consolidated data or figure or facts other than oil, groundnut oil, whatever products you have discussed here? Any statistics, data, how much groundnut is going all those purpose?
Actually, in our institute, we have a training center and we train the farmers and entrepreneurs. When they come us, we give them training to make milk, curd, paneer, many things. We provide the training over here. So, as far as people go from our place and they start their ventures, people already in the business of making soya milk, so they want to substitute and they are shifting from soya production, soya milk to this groundnut milk. So this work is enhancing day by day. But as such, how many people have started this work and how much material is to be utilized, that it is not with me right now.
Okay. So, not in very concrete figure or facts. We are also lacking all these information. Simply, we are just telling 50%, maybe 45% or 55% going as a direct consumption, food purpose or processing purpose. But exact facts and figure probably we are missing. I don't know from where I can get it, or any participants from this group update us so we can have a idea. Why I am interested, if there is a sizable content going for a particular purpose, then we can consult the the people involved in that purpose and know their specific requirement, because there are 250 varieties country released over the last 50-60 years. Out of that, around 60 or 65 varieties are under cultivation currently across the India, and maybe 15 or 20 are ruling based on their seed requirement, seed demand from the states, NSC, state seed corporation, and public and private companies. So if we could know, suppose butter maximum groundnut is going for butter preparation, and if we could assess what are the major factors required for groundnut butter preparation, so that gradually we can increase that component through research. So that is my basic purpose. So I would love to have any idea other than direct eating, for processing purpose, which are the major 2 or 3 products where major share is going, and what are their particularly 1 or 2 component they are considering for that product, byproduct, so that it will help us to modify or increase or reduce whatever they require for industrial purpose, and that will help them to have a better groundnut variety or produce suiting to their purpose. So that is my purpose for raising this question.
Dr. Saab, actually, the hot cake is the hydrolyzed plant protein. Nowadays, the hot cake is a hydrolyzed plant protein. That is a material that is developed with the help of de-oiled cake. After extraction, what actually happens when we go for mechanical extraction? First, we give the steam treatment to the seed to denature the protein as well as to deactivate the enzyme, so that the oil quality would be increased and more oil would be come out. But even then, around 7 to 8% oil remains in the cake. So this cake is treated with solvent, and finally de-oiled cake is obtained having 1 or 2% oil. Now this cake is having 2 use. Either it can be used for the animal feed, and second, either it can be used as a fertilizer. But if we extract the hydrolyzed plant protein from this, then the cost of the hydrolyzed plant protein is much more. So the economics or the benefit, if a person start this work, then he can earn a good money, because everything goes after getting a good handsome input or output difference. With the help of selling of this hydrolyzed plant protein, an entrepreneur can earn a good money. And the rest of the material that is not hydrolyzed, that can be go for the animal feed or for the biofertilizer. So very important thing is hydrolyzed plant protein work in CIPHET Ludhiana. We are having a pilot plant of making it. If in your state or in your institute you want to get this pilot plant, we can provide the technology to you. You can start the demonstration. You can start the production of this. We can provide the training, 3-4 days training, and everybody can start this work over there. As well as the milk production is concerned, milk preparation from this groundnut, paneer and sauces and cheese. These technologies can also be demonstrated at CIPHET. Actually, our mandate is big one. We don't work on a single crop. We work on all agriculture crops. Post-harvest of many cereals, fruits, vegetables, many things, mustard, all we work. But for the this groundnut, we can provide a full information. We can provide training. If you or anybody is interested, they can contact me and we will help in that way. As well as the data part is concerned, how many people are doing in India, how much it is not with us. We go for the entrepreneurship development programs, so that the people will come, they will learn the things, they want to take the technology, they will get the license from our institute. They can start their work. So that in that way we are working actually. And as you told that there are so many varieties, so probably in different varieties, different type of amino acid profile would be there. So we can make the hydrolyzed plant protein from different varieties, and we can compare it, what type is good or what type is bad. So we can have a comparative analysis with all varieties.
Okay, so I would like to have a details while we will have a conversation personally. Can I have your contact number?
Please write down 90238.
Just a minute, sir. Please.
90238
90238 97
97 999
999.
90238 97 999.
Okay, okay, sir, got it. Thank you. I will personally talk to you because recently DDG Engineering visited our institute maybe 15 days back. So he also discussed a lot of things. So we would love to work with your institute, particularly for this sector. And for hydrolyzed protein, what would be the concentrate? Because we are working for, you have developed also, still we are trying through microbiological technology at protein concentrate.
Actually, Dr. Saab, there are two methods to make the hydrolyzed plant protein. One is the enzymatic hydrolysis, another one is a chemical method. Enzymatic hydrolysis is not economically viable. Because if it is not economically viable, no person will accept it, no person will start the business on that.
Yeah.
And it is a time consuming, it will take more time, it is not a continuous process. Means it is good in lab. In lab you can demonstrate the things, but for an industrial point of view, where you have to treat 10 ton, you have to treat 20 ton, your capacity would be 10 ton per day, 20 ton per day, then enzymatic hydrolysis cannot take place at all. It is good for 5 kg, 10 kg, 20 kg in laboratory for demonstration purpose. So, because in Nestle, the people are also doing the chemical methods. So, we have to adopt the chemical method technique only for economic viability, for entrepreneurship development, for business point of view. And for that, we have a pilot plant. Recently, I personally designed and fabricated this pilot plant. The facility is available at CIPHET, and we can make around 100 kg this hydrolyzed plant protein in a day. So it is very much available with me, and I have got tested of all parameters. It is at par with anybody which is manufacturing in India, and our technology is cheaper. And this is the requirement of the hour to adopt this technology. And if you personally want to get this type of pilot plant at your institute, we are ready. We can provide you the informations, all drawings, everything, and even it can be manufactured and fabricated in Punjab, and that would be transported to your place. And you can work on that with the help of different varieties. That would be the work. As well as this enzymatic part is concerned, it is not economically viable because we have to put an enzyme into it. It takes a particular conditions and it takes times, 10 days time, 15 days time. So in industry, how it is possible? It is not possible. It is costly one also.
Okay, okay, good. So thank you for all those insights. I will separately we'll have a talk and have a discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And we are really, really glad that this platform could enable such kind of partnerships in future. We really wish such kind of entrepreneurs also to look for such avenues and opportunities into such scenarios. And thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and thought-provoking inputs and sharing these inputs with us.
To ensure we stay on schedule, we request all the participants to share their questions in chat box. We will address them as time permits. Moving forward, the next speaker is Dr. Amit Singla, Joint Director, Indian Institute of Packaging, Ahmedabad. Dr. Amit Singla holds a PhD in Mechanical Engineering from Punjab University, Chandigarh. He earned his BTech in Mechanical Engineering with distinction, receiving a gold medal and completed his MTech from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, securing the first position. He has a vast experience of more than 20 years in academia, administration, research, testing, and consultancy services in different capacities at various institutes. Dr. Singla has been serving as the Joint Director and Regional Head of the Indian Institute of Packaging, Ahmedabad Center since 2017. He has delivered numerous lectures on various packaging-related topics and capacity-building programs and workshops. With extensive expertise in the testing and certification of packaging materials and packages, he has successfully conducted advisory and consultancy visits to address industry-specific packaging challenges, providing optimal solutions to enhance packaging efficiency and effectiveness. He has organized several conferences, workshops of national and international level in different capacities and published more than 40 research and technical papers in referred journals of national and international levels. Sir is going to talk on the topic exploring packaging innovations in oilseed based products. Welcome you, sir. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. First of all, a very good afternoon to all the participants. So today I am going to give a topic or session on exploring packaging innovations in oilseed based products. See, the previous speaker has told extensively about the groundnuts, its processing, the benefits, the product. My topic would be a somewhat different from the processing one, but the most important. See, nowadays everyone thinks only for the product. There would be so much R&D, so much we can say discussions related to the processing, related to the product. But what after product? So we have to go for the packaging, because in the COVID period, everyone thinks not only the product, the packaging plays a vital role in order to take your product to that place where it can't be reached directly. And also it avoids wastage. With the help of packaging only, we can do each and everything. Now, but my topic is related to the innovation. The concern is this innovation in case of a packaging would be somewhat different as compared to the innovation in case of a product. But there is we can say some matching and some similarities also being there. If you see what we can do in a kind of a innovative things, whenever there is a need for the innovation, whenever we are having a innovation is related to a kind of a solution to the existing product or the existing problem. But in case of a packaging also, we have to think in such a way, what is the problem is being faced while transporting the product or while taking the product to the exact consumer base. Somewhat whatsoever the packaging the existing have, that packaging can be improved. But the concern is how we will be able to improve that particular kind of a packaging. So all these things leads to a kind of a innovation. So during my presentation, but I will give you the brief introduction related to what are the things we will be able to do in a kind of the packaging innovation and how we will be able to add some value to the product with the help of the packaging. But in order to directly start with the kind of a different type of a innovation, we have to also learn or some basic point related to the packaging, because till now most of the times the people think packaging is just a common man science. There is no need to learn related to the packaging. But if we think in such a way, whatsoever the product you will be having, that will be packed, that will be delivered, but the effective use of that packaging will not be there. Whenever the customer will open the product, if your packaging is not been able to have a kind of a self-sustainable or the able to not have a determination or the contamination in the product itself, the product reaches to the end consumer in a false way or that is being contaminated. So we have to take care so many things, so many points. Then we have to think whatsoever the existing packaging is there any scope of improvement in that existing packaging? If that would be a kind of a scope of improvement would be there, then we have to take a new product, and that particular new product or the new packaging will lead to the packaging innovation. So in order to go for the packaging innovation first, but then we have to decide about the packaging. then we have to think whatsoever the packaging we will be having, that my packaging is the optimized or not, whether that my packaging fulfills all the purpose or not. So in order to do this, first of all, we have to think what is the exact definition of the packaging. So the exact definition, main thing of the packaging may be defined as the mean of ensuring the safe delivery of the product. The most important point is to be the safe delivery. Whatsoever the product is being packed into the, whatsoever the packaging material, your packaging material is to be in such a way that it should safely pack your product, and your packaging material will be able to have a shelter for all the hazards is being incorporated while being transportation. Now, if we see whatsoever the shelter or whatsoever the hazards will be happening whenever we are going to transport the product, then there would be the two main, we can see the categories in which the hazards can be defined. There would be the one hazards would be an environmental one, and the second hazard related to the transportation one. If we say the environmental hazards, in the environmental hazards, it's come to be your packaging material is to be sound enough in order to save your product from air, sunlight, moisture, temperature, humidity, water. So whatsoever the packaging material is to be having, we have to choose the packaging material very carefully. And after choosing the packaging material, then we have to go for its specification. And that specification is to be such a way that it should protect from all the environmental hazard. Now, if we have protected from all the environmental hazard, then next is there would be the another, the transportation hazard is being there. So in case of a transportation hazard, your packaging should be in such a way that it should be able to bear all the transportation hazards, like a kind of a drop would be there. So whenever the drop would be there, your packaging should be strong enough to save your product. Then whenever it is going through the truck, there would be some vibrations would be there from the vibration. And when the truck is being moving and suddenly a brake is being applied, then the impact load would be there. So your packaging should be strong enough to give the safe delivery to the product. Now next, here I have been again added one more point in my definition. The packaging may be defined as a mean of ensuring the safe delivery of the product to the ultimate consumer. That is the most important part. The ultimate consumer means whenever the packaging would be there, that packaging will directly not goes to the end consumer. There are so many intermediates between be there. Warehouses would be there. Then from that warehouses, it will go up to the store, then retail shop, and then finally to the consumer. So whatsoever the time in between, whatsoever the product shelf life is to be there, that packaging would be able to take your product the safe. There should not be any kind of a contamination. So the main role of the packaging to the safe delivery of the product to the ultimate consumer, and the most important, in a sound condition. This sound condition here means the condition at which my product is being packed. That means the properties, the taste, the flavor, whatsoever the thing is to be there, that the end consumer will get the similar kind of a taste, the similar kind of ingredients, the similar kind of the features. There should not be any deterioration, neither due to the packaging material, nor due to the environmental hazard, and nor due to the transportation hazard. And all these things we have to go within minimum overall cost, because your packaging cost should not be more than your product cost. It should be the minimum overall cost. So in order to go for this, let's suppose if we have make a kind of a packaging material. So whatsoever the function should be, the packaging should have. Because if we know about all these functions, if your existing packaging material does not perform any of the function properly, that means there is a scope of improvement. So that means there is a need to go for the innovative packaging material. So in order to go for this, first again, we have to understand whatsoever the functions of the packaging material it should have. So your packaging material should have some basic functions it should perform. The first and the foremost, first P is a kind of a presentation. your packaging material should be attractive, eye-catching. Because like in case of a groundnuts only, if you are going to pack your groundnut, your peanuts into a simple PE sheet, that packaging material is sufficient. But again, whether that packaging material will be able to increase the shelf life of the product, or that packaging material is having a kind of a catchy in nature, because based on that only the consumer always makes some perception in his mind. If we are not giving the presentation effect, because nowadays there is a lot of competition in the market, your product is to be somewhat not only the local product, it should be a global product. Because if you are not doing any kind of a branding, if you are not doing any kind of a proper presentation, your product will be kind of a local product. So in order to go make your product global, there is a need to have a good presentation on your packaging material. The next is the protection. It should have the protection from all the kind of a hazards which have already been explained. Next is the preservation. Again, it should have an original color, quality, flavor, economy, the cost factor, and the last, convenience of use. Most important point, because whenever we are concentrating in order to make your packaging material kind of a presentation one, to kind of a protection from all the hazards, to preserve all the ingredients, quality, flavor, but sometimes we forgot about the convenience of the use, because with the help of the convenience of the use only, the packaging material will be correctly been established by the consumer. Let's see, if you are having any kind of a packaging material and that packaging material is beautifully packed, which have a good presentation, good protection, but you are unable to open the product properly, or you need so much huge force in order to open it. So that is not been easy, convenient to the customer. So in that particular case, again, the innovation is being added. Some innovation, some small tricks you have to add into your packaging material. Because by adding these small tricks, you will be always giving some edge to the consumer. Because next time, whenever the consumer has to buy any kind of a product, because they will be having so much huge market inside it, so he has to decide. So he will decide according to their convenience and according to kind of a new innovation. So these are the primary functions your packaging should have. Next, the some secondary functions is also to be there, because if you are making your product or the packaging materials to good presentation, then you have to go for the labeling. But along with the labeling, not only the brand, you have to fulfill some other norms also. Like you should have to print its containment, measure, weight, then identification, brand, product quality is the most important, because based on that only the consumer will be your repeat customer. In order to have a kind of a repeat customer, if the customer doesn't know about your brand, he will go into the market and take to the some another brand. Again, the nutritional information we have to print on your packaging material. Then the labeling. In case of a labeling, the barcode, the QR code is the most important part. We have to fit it on the packaging material. Then the handling. Let's suppose if you are make your packaging so much good enough, having all the functions, but you have not considered about the handling part. Because during handling, in order to reach your product to the end consumer, there are so much handling part would be done by the manual workers, by the forklifts, by the warehouses, in by keeping your product into the stacked one. If your packaging material like secondary packaging material, CFB box is not so much strong, it will take the bottom box is not been able to take the full load of top 9 boxes, then whatsoever the product is being stuffed in the bottom box, that product has been destroyed. So we have to think in such a manner also, that whatsoever the handling is to be there, that handling is also to be more strengthened in stores also, warehouses also, and during transient part. Then the next part is the desirable characteristics. Along with these function, what should be the desirable characteristics for your oilseeds packaging? The first and the foremost we have to see whatsoever the packaging we have chosen for my particular product, it must comply all the provisions of the food safety and standards. Whatsoever the regulations have been defined in 2011, there is a special regulation is being there. That regulations is related to the packaging and also with the labeling. So it should have entire, it should comply all statutory compliance as per the FSI. First, see, in market you have seen everyone say ban the plastic, ban the plastic. Why? But the plastic is a wonderful material. In that particular case, whatsoever the packaging material you are choosing, not only the plastic, whether it is a plastic, whether it is a wood, whether it is a metal, you have to ensure your packaging material should not react with the product. If there would be any kind of a reaction, that means the packaging material is going to react with your product, then there is a need for the improvement in your packaging material. That means there is a scope for the innovation here. Your packaging material should be available at the low cost. Non-toxic packaging material, the packaging material should be non-toxic. And see one more point, that is, if in order to make your packaging product a presentable one, we have to go for the printing. Now the question is which particular type of the printing we should do. And you know the printing ink contains so many toxic materials, so many heavy elements. Think if any kind of a printing material is going to have an impact on your product, so that means your product will be able to not give the good quality. It may even give the some harm to the consumers. So that means your packaging material, whatsoever the printing ink you will be using, it should not allow printing ink to penetrate into the product. Like if you have seen in Nestle, previously around the Maggi has been banned. Do you know why the Maggi has been banned at that particular time? In that particular time, if you see into the detail, the Maggi uses the Maggi masala, and in the Maggi masala, they are going to print their branding on the masala pouch. Whatsoever the printing ink, that printing ink is having the direct contact with the Maggi masala. And that printing ink is being penetrated to the product, which has been hazardous in nature. So that's why that has been banned. Now they are using that particular type of a ink, which is not been directly related to contact with the product, or that is not been harmful in nature. So again, next one more point, whatsoever the packaging material you should choose, it should protect against the tampering also. That means before reaching to the consumer, no one should be able to hamper or the tamper with your product, with your packaging also. Open the packaging, take the product out, again close it or change the brand. So that means if that is the being case, again each and every point will relate to the kind of a new innovation that is being happening. So that means there is a need to go for the change in the packaging material. There is a need to go for the add one particular kind of a packaging process, so that you will be able to protect your packaging material against tampering. Your packaging material should protect against spoilage causing factors. Whatsoever the agent is to be there, it should not be able to have a kind of a direct impact on your product. And also based on that, only we will be able to increase the shelf life of the product. During transportation, your packaging material should be able to withstand the wear and tear. Most important, the convenience in use. It should be easy opening, easy closing, or if you will be able to have a kind of a product which is going to be stored also, then after using it should have the provision for the, we can say, for the storage also. And nowadays everyone thinks or everyone talks about the sustainability, whatsoever the packaging material we are using, whether it is being sustainable or not. So that means in that particular case, we have to think my packaging material is, there is a chance for go for the reuse, reduce or the recyclable, then that would be a good thing. Again, that will treat as a kind of a new innovative kind of a product. Then whatsoever the packaging material you will be able to choose, or if you're going to take a kind of a change in the packaging material, it should be that packaging material should be compatible with your existing packaging machine. So here, now before going into the some innovative things, now you know each and everything how there is a need to go for the choosing of the packaging product. So in that particular case, if we see what is the current packaging material, that current packaging material in usage for the oil seeds, then we have to study for all this current packaging material. By studying this current packaging material, then only we will be able to think for a new innovative product. So if you see the packaging material for the oil seeds or the oil-based product, then first of all, we have to decide about what should be the nature of the product. Based on the nature of the product, we have to choose for the packaging material. Then you will be able to see there is a variety of packaging material would be available. There is a packaging material for oil seeds in case of a glass also, tin also, PET bottle also, laminated pouch, HDPE, then for LDPE product. The question is how to decide among all these packaging material. What are the criteria in order to decide my product is to be packed into which particular type of the packaging material? Is that packaging material is being perfect for my product or not? See, you will be surprised whatsoever the packaging material I have mentioned here, none of the packaging material is best in the nature. None of the packaging material is best. Every packaging material is having some pros and some cons. Like if you say the glass is the wonderful packaging material, but think of the glass. In case of a glass is having a good advantage. It is 100% chemically inert. That means it will never react with the product. But glass is again having a disadvantage. What is the disadvantage for the glass? A glass is a brittle in nature. Glass is fragile. And also, if we are pack anything in a glass, it has been bulky. The transportation would cost for the glass would be high. So that's why whenever we choose for the glass a packaging material, that packaging material for glass is to be in a small bottles for 1 liter maximum or less than 1 liter. It should not be taken for more than 1 liter. So there is a need to go for the innovation in kind of the glass also. Because in case of a glass, if you see what should be the opening closing mechanism in case of a glass, the cap screw only. In case of a cap screw, sometimes the spillage would be the more, sometimes the spillage would be the less. So again, if you see what should be the next then packaging material, if we say then the tin, again the tin, for the tin also, sometimes there would be the chance because the tin metal is the capacity to corrosion. Then we have to go for the lining in case of a tin, and we have to choose the tin material in such a way it should not be have a direct contact, or it should not be able to corrode your product. The tin is strong enough, but the glass is also one more advantage. The glass is transparent in nature. We will be able to see the product, but in case of a tin, we will not be able to see the product. Then the PET bottles. Again, the PET bottles, in the PET bottles that is being used in for the dry product also and for the liquid product also. But in case of the plastics, there is some disadvantage. The disadvantage would always be at high temperature, there is a chances that the product may be plastic material may have a kind of a leaching effect to your product. So then we have to go for the laminated pouch. In case of a laminated pouch, the laminated pouch is being made in such a way by taking 2 or 3 different layers, so that it should have all the different functions of the packaging. It should not be able to contaminate with the product. it is a good barrier properties it is having. But sometimes based on that, if it is to be just dropped or if it has been opened, how you will be able to go for the convenience of use for that particular laminated pouch? Because at that particular time we have to shift it into some container. Then HDPE bottles, the HDPE bottles being used in order to have a 5 liters one, 2 liters one, a big one. Again, that is exactly the similar kind which we can say the laminated pouch being there, because it is been same used as a plastic. But in order to go for the innovation, for that particular kind of innovation, we have to think for the opening and closing mechanism, for placing the various kinds of, we can say, the handle placement. It should be easy, it should be easy usable to the product. Now, these are the current being packaging material is being used by the various, we can say, the vendors. Now, the question is how we will be go for the innovation in that particular kind of a packaging material. How we will be go for the innovation. So I have made this particular slide. In this slide, we can say the packaging innovation can be done. We will be able to go for innovate with the unique format oblique style. What do you mean by the unique format? That means we will be able to think of that particular packaging material that is not been able to use for choosing that particular kind of a product. And if you are using that particular kind of a product, for what purpose, what benefit the consumer will be able to get if you use that particular product? Then next we will be go for the innovation with design. The design means the design can be any type. The design may be in its shape, in its size, in its aspect ratio, or the design may be in the different type of the handling, the different type of the opening. So that handling and opening, sometimes we will be going for the innovate with ease of convenience. Ease of convenience means it should be very easy to be able to use by the consumer. And also, if you see, sometimes the product is being packed into that particular a packaging material in which the consumer is not being able to use 100% of it. Some particular amount of product is being left over in the packaging material and it is not so easy to take it. So in that particular case, there is a need to go for the innovate your packaging material in order to go for the easy convenience, and along with this it should be 100% usable. Then also the different opening and closing I have already been told. And then the need of R, because nowadays everyone thinks of the sustainable packaging material. Whenever we are saying sustainable, then we have to go for the life cycle analysis also. What packaging material you are using, whether it is going to be reused or not. If it is not going to be the reuse, then it should have a recyclability nature. Because in case of a laminated pouch, there is 1, 2, 3 different types of the packaging layers and being used. So it is not so easy to go for the recyclability. So if you are using that particular packaging material, which is a kind of a monomer or having a single family or a single type of a polymer chain, then it is going to be easy recyclability. So these are the things by which we will be able to add some innovation to your packaging material. So now I am going to show you some of the innovations related to the usage of groundnut oil or the groundnuts. So here on the screen, if you will be able to see the innovative, that is a unique packaging style. Because whenever we are going to kind of innovate, then we have to relate the things. Why this particular kind of a packaging material? What advantage the consumer will get if they will be able to purchase your product from this particular type of a packaging material? So here you have seen that is a oil spray bottles or a can. It is a simple can dispenser, but what benefit based on that? It will give you that lesser quantity of the oil that is being required. It is not to be going to just a kind of a spillover. So again, so this is a kind of an innovative packaging style if you are using the oil into the oil spray bottles of the cans. Next, because whenever you are using the packaging material, that packaging material in a laminated pouch, and if you are just cut it and open it, you will be, there will be so much spillage would be there. So in order to prevent the spillage, what we will be able to do, we have to make a kind of a spout pouch. The spout pouch will be also able to help in order to give a convenience to the customer. Then innovate with design. See here, whatsoever the packaging material we are choosing, that packaging material is not a simple shape of a design, a kind of a cube, a kind of a cuboid, a kind of a, we can say, cylinder. It should have a kind of a mixed type of a design. And also it should have a capability to display the raw content, because based on the different type of the design, that will again always help the consumer in order to select your product, because every consumer required a new thing. So with the design also, you will be able to have a kind of a innovation to your product. Now, this innovate with convenience. So here, this tin can, in tin can, this tin can comes with a kind of a spout in nature. So again, a spout will be there. That spout will help to give a exact amount of the oil, or the oil will be exactly being poured properly. Then the second is convenience, the PET bottle. Because if you see a kind of a PET bottle, if it is to be, then there is a no handle. But here, the innovation is a kind of a handle is being given. Because based on that particular handle, the main thing, the consumer is going to easy pouring of the oil when the bottle is having a very less one. Because most of the times you have also think, if it is around 100 ml of oil is being left in a PET bottle, if you are going to sometimes pour it, sometimes it is being spilled properly. It is not been poured properly, but with the help of that slight handle, you will be able to get that particular oil being poured properly. Nowadays, whenever the PET bottle is being there, they are having a plastic pull tabs you have seen. Do you know why that particular plastic pull tabs is being there? Most of the time, because of the lack of knowledge, that plastic pull tab is being just being opened, and after opening you will throw it out. But no, that is not the exact means of using that plastic pull tab. That plastic pull tab is being used a kind of a innovation. What is the innovation inside it? Because sometimes if we have to pour the oil, and that oil is to be poured on the kind of a control, I need a small amount, but whensoever it is being full, due to that particular pressure, you will not be able to pour the oil into the controlled amount. Then in order to give the oil into the controlled demand, whatsoever the tab has been used, removed, that tab is to be again placed into the top of the opening and then use it. I'm just showing you a small video or a small reel related to this, so that you will be able to know. So see, that is being thing. So that is the reason also sometimes the companies are being doing the innovation related to the packaging material, using it. But due to the lack of awareness, that of knowledge, the consumer is not been able to grasp it properly. But with the help of this, you will be able to know what is the need for a kind of a innovation in the packaging material also. Because whenever we have to go for the innovation, we have to always take the convenience of the consumer. Then here one more product, that is bag in box. Bag in box means, like here, there would be one container. In that particular container, you will be able to have a kind of a spout would be there, where whatsoever the laminated pouch is being there, that is being used in a kind of a refill it again and again, and you will use it. then also a small technology we will be able to use. Most of the times you have seen a kind of a just only a barcode would be there. But nowadays, instead of a barcode, QR technology is being there. Why the QR code? Because in order to read the barcode, you need the special infrared device. But for the QR code, there is no need of the infrared device is required. Whatsoever the mobile phone you are being here, you have to just scan and you will be able to read all the information, all the technology, all the, we can say, new thing related to the product. Because whensoever the packaging material would be there, due to the size constraint, you will not be able to put all the details on the labeling part. So in that particular case, what you can do, you should have a kind of a QR code on your product, and that QR code will be able to give whatsoever the unique, special unique feature, how your product is different, your product is organic in nature, how your product is organic, with the help of small videos, small, we can say, matter, you will be able to guide your consumer that this product is really beneficial to you. Then innovate with opening and closing. See, if you see here, it is just a simple groundnut packaging. You will not be able to think how it will be a kind of an innovative product. If you see, whenever a size would be there, because we can innovate with the dimensions also. Here, the dimensions means its length is more and the breadth is less. So whenever the length is more, the breadth is less. Most of the times the companies are doing the opening and closing notches are being placed on the top and the bottom part, right? But here, in order to go for the slight innovation related to new thing, instead of making the opening notches at the top and bottom, it has kept on the side one. It has not been kept on the top and bottom. So based on that, we will be able to go a new kind of a thing. Or sometimes you can able to give the opening and closing not only to the side, from the bottom to the slight top. Here it is kind of a peeling should be there. And from there, one or two products should be move out properly from the groundnut. There is one more kind of a innovation for a kind of a groundnut. What we can do in a packaging material, what you can do have, you can have a two separate containers. On one particular side, you will be having a product. On the another side, it is to be having a kind of a small zip, because whenever we are going to opening a kind of a groundnut, so whatsoever it's left over is to be there. Instead of direct, we are sending or throwing to the directly. Instead of throwing, you can place it into the bottom container. So again, based on that, again, your product will be a kind of a innovative in nature. So this innovate with the sustainable packaging. So here you will be able to see most of the time whenever the laminates would be there, that laminates would not be easy recyclability. So we have to go for the easy recyclability. So instead of making the laminar with the different type of a polymer, like with PET, with PE, with PVC. So instead of taking the three different types of the polymer, we have to go for the monomer with the same family, so that it should have a similar structure, and that similar structure will give you the easy recyclability. So thank you. With this, I hope I have covered a small things, small points by which you will be able to go a kind of a new innovation in your packaging material. Any questions, anything if you want to ask?
Thank you, sir, for such an immersive presentation and insightful talk. We now invite the audience to ask any questions you may have.
Sir, uh, generally consumers purchase a 15 kg 10 or 5-liter can. So how do we market this type of innovative packaging material? And my second question is, this type of innovative packaging products price is higher. So it is costly for business purpose, and if we apply these products, our final product price is increased. So it more costly for consumers. So how can we solve this type of problem?
See, basically, whenever we are going to have a kind of a innovation, that doesn't mean always your product cost would be the high, because you will be able to see the packaging always add value to your product. Based on the packaging only, you will be able to treat a different type of the consumers. We have to first see whatsoever the packaging I am giving, that particular packaging is being used to for which particular type of a audience, for which particular type of a market, for which particular type of a segment. Because there would be in market, you will be able to find every type of the segment would be there. There would be the some for the middle class, some would for the lower middle class, some for the upper class. So if you are going to have a brand, your, we can say the product, whatsoever the product you are having, you are saying that my particular product is having this particular kind of the USP, and that is I am being used for a segment of the upper middle class. So in that particular case, you can't give your product into the kind of a laminated pouch. Then you have to choose a kind of a glass bottle or some different type of the innovative design related to the packaging material in a PET bottle. So there you have to again go for the different type of the branding, different type of the logo, so that that customer will have a kind of a attraction to it. So he knows if he is going to pay the higher price, then in that particular case, your packaging material should be the unique enough. So whensoever the innovation is to be there, like the spout, if you are taking that particular spout, is just only give you a increase in cost of ₹1 or ₹2, not more than that. And if you are taking based on ₹2 cost, if you are increasing your price to be just ₹10 only, because the customer will say, yes, that will having a some added advantage to me. Yes, definitely he will be able to pay that particular price. Then again, that is a marketing strategy you will be having. You have to go for the different types so that the customer will be able to know what is the USP you are going to follow, what is the USP you are going to give to that particular kind of a customer. Then only the customer will buy your product. Because nowadays you will be able to find the variety of products would be there. Like in case of a groundnut oil only, there will be so many vendors, but depending upon the type of the packaging material, its cost is being decided. Like if that we can say simple oil is being sold, 1 liter oil is being sold into the laminated pouch, its cost will be always be less. But if the same 1 liter pouch, same product is to be being sold in a PET bottle, it will having at least 4 to 5 rupees higher in case of a PET bottle, right? And let's suppose if you are having a product with a cold pressed oil, its price would be higher. You will be able to sell that cold pressed oil, not in case of a laminated pouch, because your product is having a so much good USP. Based on that, we have to select a packaging material. So we have to go for the in kind of a various combinations is to be there. So there is a so much learning is to be there, which particular type of the packaging material should I use for my particular product in order to deal with which particular type of the segment. So that's why we are here at IIP. We are giving so much trainings related to it, how to decide, how to go for the optimum type of a packaging, how to take your packaging to the upper level of a customer, how to take the packaging in order to reach to the larger number. What should be the USP that you have to give to the consumer so that your consumer will be able to take your product. Hope I am clear.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.